Hey everyone, Corey Whalen, Managing Partner, BridgeMark Strategies, firm that's helped thousands of financial advisors objectively explore the broker-dealer and RIA marketplace and help them find the firm with the right combination of feel, fit, and financials for them and their business. Typically, when I start working with a client, they have questions about our experience, our process, how we've helped other financial advisors in the past, just narrow down the massive amount of options that are out there in the industry to the best firms that align with what they're trying to do. And I just figured I would answer that question on this channel today. But there's a lot of different ways that we can help advisors and guide them through this process. The first one is just through industry data. We constantly track where financial advisors are leaving and where those advisors from certain firms are going to just give you some high-level data on firms that might make sense to consider because other people in your exact same situation are choosing that firm. The second is just from real-life experience. Inside of BridgeMark, we're helping hundreds and hundreds of financial advisors, most likely from your firm, make transitions on an annual basis. So it can just help you understand where other financial advisors are going and some of the benefits that they're seeing by making the move to those specific places. And then number three, we do a deep dive into your practice to help you understand what some of the differences are of all of the different firms out there in the industry and align firms based off of your specific preferences. So when we start to work with a client, we ask a ton of different questions to help narrow down options and determine fit. But here's some of the questions that we ask our clients. And also these are some of the main differentiators with a lot of the options out there in the industry. So the first one is just to ask, what are your strengths or weaknesses? Some firms have more turnkey support for running your business. So whether you're uncertain about making decisions about specifically running your business, marketing, coaching, how to grow after you make the transition, actually setting up an office while you're still at the firm that you're currently at right now. There's firms that really specialize in these specific things. So depending on what you want to put on your plate and take off your plate, certain firms could have significant strengths versus others. The second is just how do you manage your money? Depending on what your business mix is, your assets under management, how much insurance and annuities you do, the type of fee-based business that you do, whether you're outsourcing or running models yourself. Some firms are just going to be set up significantly better, both from a tools and capabilities standpoint, but also from an economic standpoint to be able to better support your business. The next question is a brand something that's really, really important to you? Some firms are going to have a real large national brand for their advisors to lean on from a transition and a client acquisition standpoint. And some are going to put more money in your pocket on an annual basis to be able to build a brand more effectively on a local level that's going to impact you locally instead of on a national level. There's no right or wrong answer here, but a lot of financial advisors feel really strongly about this in one way or another. Another question is, how important is upfront money, and is it a large priority for you to make a transition? Once again, there's no right or wrong answer here. Some financial advisors, when they make a transition, they have serious upfront expenses to be able to launch a business. They need to get their spouse comfortable with the move. There's a lot of reasons where it makes a lot of sense, but just know that when you're making a decision out there, there's no answer that's right or wrong. And we just help advisors understand that typically there's a pretty inverse relationship between getting a significant amount of upfront money and ongoing payout and trying to find the right firm in there that makes sense. The next thing is RIA something that's really important to you now or in the future? There's firms out there in the industry that have a clear, seamless pathway to the RIA world, and some don't. A lot of financial advisors find certain firms really, really attractive because they'll give them upfront money to launch their business. And then when the time is right, when they get to critical mass or business needs change, that they're going to be able to make a move to the RIA world without repapering their clients. Basically, a lot of advisors find comfort in knowing that they have less of a likelihood of having to repaper again because they can make multiple transitions inside of their organization as their business needs change. So if the answer to that question is yes or no, could determine which firms you might want to have a conversation with. Do you want maximum flexibility from a technology standpoint and with maximum periphery options to be able to add on to your base technology packages? Or do you just want a technology package with a little less flexibility but that's fully integrated and works? Some firms are going to give you a fully integrated technology system. They're not going to give you a ton of options to be able to bolt on other technologies there. But some financial advisors are totally okay with that. They say, Corey, I just want a technology package that works every time, has as much integration as possible, and doesn't give me any issues. Some financial advisors, they want 10 different options for a CRM, for trading tools, for marketing tools, for risk assessment tools. They want to be able to get a core technology set and then be able to bolt on a ton of different options. As soon as new technologies roll out, they want them and want access to them. So depending on the answer to that question, certain firms are going to be better fits than others. Is private ownership something that's really important to you, or is a public firm more attractive? A lot of financial advisors will have a really strong opinion on this as well. Some will feel really strong about the size, the scale, the safety of a public firm, and some advisors would feel much more comfortable being part of an organization where they have a direct line of communication with the CEO, and they have the ability to make longer term decisions, and they're not beholden to shareholders. So depending on the answer to that question, that could really narrow down some of the options out there in the industry as well. How important is banking to your clients? Some independent options have really great solutions here. Do your clients want their banking and their wealth management all in one spot? Some firms are going to have much more robust capabilities when it comes to security-backed loans, ultra high net worth lending options, mortgages. Some firms are going to have just that true all-in-one banking solution, and others it's just going to be a little bit more clunky. And then also just asking the question, do you want a platform that allows you to do your business and just leaves you alone to do what's right, what you feel is right for your clients? Or do you want a true partnership from a growth, a coaching, support and community standpoint? Some financial advisors are going to feel very strongly one way or another. Some are going to want a true growth partner, and others are going to want a platform that just leaves them alone to do what they feel is right for their clients at the end of the day. All of these firms are going to have massive swings in terms of what the long-term economics are going to look like. Some financial advisors are going to feel like, hey, I want to pay a la carte and pay, for everything that I use and not pay for anything I don't, to be able to really control my P&L. And some advisors are going to want an all-inclusive type of a fee inside of their firm where they have access to everything, a little bit more expensive, but they don't have to make, all of those decisions. They already know that everything is included. So as you can see, this is probably 1/10 of the questions that we asked financial advisors throughout the process to help narrow down these options. But as you can see, there's really some clear differences, strengths and weaknesses of all of these firms. And if we get the opportunity to have a conversation with you, can really dig deep to educate you on what's out there in the industry, help you identify what your must-haves are, and point you in the direction of the firms that are going to best complement your business and not waste a bunch of time and create a bunch of frustration. So I really hope that this helped, just kind of giving you an inside look on some of the ways that we dig in and help point advisors in the right direction. If you have any questions, my contact information is all over my YouTube page, my podcast, and my website, CoreyWhalen.com. Thank you so much. I really hope that this helped, and I hope we could have a conversation soon. Thank you.